Greetings again. It's Thirsty Thursday with the Crotchety Old Men Podcast. In the studio with me today are my two partners in crime. I say three because I have to include me. But I'm Gary Smith. I'm a retired commercial real estate investment advisor slash former insurance agent, and I'm enjoying life here in the beautiful Midwest in Michigan. And more importantly, I'm enjoying this thing called retirement and sharing knowledge and wisdom. Also in the studio with me today is my main man to my right. I don't know if you can see us or not, but soon if you go to YouTube or one of those other platforms, you'll be able to see us. But George Crumley, he's a retired executive as well. George has a lot of investment knowledge. Former corporate executive, manager, telecom industry, as well as a private real estate investor. And George has his own programs going as it relates to financial planning as well. So comes with a whole lot of knowledge. Bringing up the rear is my main man, PC, Paul Clemens. Paul has a wealth of knowledge of holistic. I'm laughing, y'all, because I can see him. Y'all can't see him. But we call him PC for a lot of reasons. But he has a tremendous wealth of knowledge as it relates to holistic healing and how you can maintain your temple and live long, live well, and live healthy. So today, gentlemen, hey, let's welcome our guests. Let me give you some shout outs out here. PC, what's going on?
Everything is beautiful, brothers. It's a beautiful sunny day. The birds are singing and the flowers are blooming. And I'm 6 feet above, which is tall as I'm ever going to get in this life.
Praise God, man. I'm here, I'm alive, and I'm here with you guys. Wouldn't think of any other place to be. I'm so raring to go. And we're going to talk about some holistic medicine today. That's to me is such a great subject. It's something we often miss as far as, your health. We talk about finances, but hey, like I've said before, without your health, you got nothing. I don't care how much money you have. You got to have good health. And that's so we're going to let PC educate us today on some holistic medicine type things and some things that can really help us, with some of these nagging things that we see at this later age in life. So what else you got, guys?
Well, PC, hey, we're looking for you to take us away because we always say that your health is your wealth. Look here, there's always a financial reward or financial punishment as we look at it. I think there was a article, I'm not an article, but a commercial years ago with the guy with the transmission. He says, you can pay us now or you can pay us later. And that's what
Amico,
goes on with
MCO.
there you go. PC, take us away.
How's everybody doing today? My name is Paul Clements. I'm a holistic doctor. And we decided we're going to talk about some things that plague us all on a regular basis. One of the things, there are several diseases that are particular to Black folks. And why is that? Simply because our DNA is totally different from our Caucasian brother. And as a result of that, we respond to things very differently than they do. So today we're going to talk about various medications that are given to us on a regular basis. One of the diseases that I like to talk about that we're probably most plagued with in the Black community is high blood pressure. And when you're faced with high blood pressure, you go to the doctor. Doctor puts a blood pressure cuff on you. Next thing you know, he says you got high blood pressure. Well, there are families of medications that deal with that high blood pressure, and they all have side effects. Now, they may take your blood pressure down, true enough, which is what you're trying to get to in the first place. But a lot of the side effects with blood pressure medication, number one, it removes out of your body minerals that are key in vitamin absorption. And the particular vitamin absorption that I'm referring to is vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin D. When you take high blood pressure medication, magnesium and manganese are the two minerals that are depleted from your body as a result of the medication. Another mineral that's depleted from the medication, is CoQ10. And CoQ10 is a particular mineral that strengthens the heart walls, the heart muscles, and the flow of blood from the heart down to your feet and then back up again. So, what do we look at in terms of uh, something that's natural that'll do the same thing? Well, there's several. First of all, the garlic is probably one of the most well used, and that's been well used for over 5,000 years. Garlic takes down your blood pressure. I usually take a clove of garlic daily, and sometimes I'll skip a day or whatever the case might be. But the particular chemical that's in the garlic, which is Elizabeth, is the chemical compound that creates the smell of garlic, and it also creates the magical effects garlic has. Garlic has been used to cure blood pressure, blood flow. It's also it's also the strongest anti-inflammatory and antiviral and antibacterial agent known to man. The other things is when you're on beta blockers, which is a family of medications that is used to curtail high blood pressure. Beta blockers have some serious side effects, some dizziness. You're coughing just tremendously. Um, they'll switch you over to another blood pressure family medication, and they've got so many other different side effects. So you want to look at what herbals are available to create a healthy blood flow and a healthy blood pressure. So I would say my go to is garlic, and it also helps to alleviate some of the cholesterol. Now, as we're talking about cholesterol, usually when you go into a doctor's office and you as a black person has high blood pressure, they're always going to wonder if you have high cholesterol as well. Because with high cholesterol, that means that there's plaque buildup in the veins or the arteries and or both, and that slows down the blood flow from the heart to the feet, from the feet back up to the heart. Your systolic is the top number. So that's usually 120, 130. That is the number that says that it takes this much pressure to get from pump blood from your heart all the way down to your feet. The diastolic number, which is equally as important and maybe even more important, is how much pressure does it take to get the blood flow from your feet back up to your heart. That's that bottom number, the diastolic number. Okay. So that usually runs around 70, 74, 76. If your blood pressure is high, the normal range, the abnormal range is anywhere from 140 on the systolic number to 80, over 80 on the diastolic number. Okay. So you want to keep that in mind when people tell you what your blood pressure is. And I would suggest that people, when they go to the doctor, ask what the blood pressure is. A lot of times they'll take your blood pressure. Oh, your blood pressure is high. What does that mean? You know, are you 140 over 78? Are you 140 over, let's say, 80? Um, those numbers are borderline high blood pressure, and it's not necessarily um, advantageous to take blood pressure medication at that point because your blood pressure is not
Mm.
high. But if you take the herbals, I call them herbals. You got spices like garlic. You got spices like elderberry, which is a fruit. There are a number of herbs and foods. Your cruciferous vegetables, which would be cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and those kinds of things. They promote very good heart health, and if you eat them on a regular basis, it's going to promote your heart health as well. The other thing is that the cholesterol, going back to the cholesterol medication also um, takes out the magnesium, manganese, and CoQ10 minerals as well. So you're getting a double whammy if they're treating you for blood pressure and cholesterol at the same time. So you want to be careful about what you're taking from a medical standpoint, and the cruciferous vegetables and the like that I've described before for high blood pressure also works for high cholesterol as well. Now, what creates high cholesterol is foods that contain a lot of salt, um, and you want to avoid eating salt, and you want to avoid white foods like rice, processed foods. Those all contribute toward um, that high cholesterol.
Okay, being a great stuff, man. I'm telling you, I'm sitting here taking notes and I'm squirming all at the same time. While I don't have high blood pressure or what have you, sometimes you got that cholesterol. But I know there's brothers out there that's wondering, say, yeah, because I know cats don't take their medicine because, certain things don't rise, man. You say the blood go from the heart to the feet, but it look like it bypasses certain other areas. And so what does a man do if they are suffering from one of those side effects called erectile dysfunction?
That is a damn good question. And what you just said, Gary, describes the symptoms of heart disease. When we don't get an erection in the morning, when you we talk about resurrection,
Oh,
resurrection. You're supposed to have healthy men with healthy hearts are supposed to have a resurrection when they wake up in the morning. When you find that you don't have a resurrection in the morning, that's a good indicator that there's an issue with heart disease or blood flow, and it's all put together. So that's a very, very, very good point. And that's what I usually ask my male clients. Do you have an erection early in the morning? That's a clear cut definition of heart disease, and that's when you want to start looking at things like taking some garlic on a regular basis, because they will provide you the erection that you need to have, whether it's in the morning or sometime later on a date or whatever the case might be. And that's a great amount of what creates erectile dysfunction. It's not so much that, it's a nerve unless you've been operated on, and there's certain nerves that bundle around the prostate. If they're damaged or whatever, will create a neurological reasons why you don't have an erection. But at the same time, your blood flow is the other part that's responsible for that erection. And and if there's blockages, if you have high blood pressure, all of those things will keep that erection from erecting. And so you want to and certain blood pressure medications that they give you also keep you from having an erection. And that's an important thing, and that's why a lot of brothers don't want to take that medication. I was when I was living in Virginia, doctor gave me some high blood pressure medication, and I had headaches, and I don't never get headaches. I usually give headaches. I don't get headaches. And so that was strange. The other the other thing was it limped me up, and that was strange. I can do handstands without any hands. But I was starting to have a problem. I asked the doctor about it. He said, "Well, we can put you on more blood pressure medication." And I said, "More is going to mean more of the same." So I started taking garlic, and the garlic really helped my blood pressure stay intact. Weight gain is another issue. When you have weight gain, the more weight you gain, the higher your blood pressure becomes, because that heart has to get past the weight and the fat that has been accumulated in the body, and it makes that heart that much more difficult to pump blood from the heart to the feet, and then have enough pressure to get from the feet back to the heart. So you raise a very pertinent issue, and it's something that we as men seem to avoid in terms of taking blood pressure medication. So there are other ways in which to make sure that you have good heart health, and that's through the herbs and that's through the vegetables and fruits that we eat.
Yeah. You know what, Paul, I raised that question because unfortunately so many men that I've known have either succumbed to strokes and or death because they would not take their medication. And I believe wholeheartedly that if they had information such as what you are sharing with us today, that they could still be with us. And either because they didn't recognize the signs or ignored the signs, I mean, if you're not going to take your medication, then doggone, you got to supplement that with something else, okay? Because the situation is not going to go away, particularly if you're not eating right, not getting proper exercise, and things of that nature. It's like another subject, and hopefully you can speak on this one too, PC, is prostate cancer. Prostate cancer runs rampant within the black community, particularly in black males, obviously. And so, while I'm sure there's some things on the diet that probably affects that, but you have, the information. So, PC, help us, with prostate. I mean, is there something else that we could do with that too?
Prostate cancer is a cancer that's direct cancer. However, if it's allowed to continue to and it metastasizes, uh, the personality of that cancer, if you will, has a way of metastasizing in your bones. It attacks your bone marrow, and because it attacks the bone marrow, that cancer transfers throughout the whole entire body. Okay, so what do we do on a regular basis? A good thing to take would be zinc, which is a mineral, but the mineral helps to cleanse the prostate on a regular basis. The other one is vitamin E. And of course, as we talked about before, if you have the proper minerals in your body, you're going to absorb vitamin E. Usually, they'll add a little pepper to the vitamin E to help with the absorption process of the body, because vitamin E is not that easily absorbed. Um, the other thing to take for prostate health is cranberries. Cranberries is a great antioxidant, and antioxidants take care of, they remove free radicals from your body. Free radicals are toxins and garbage and dirt that collects in your body, collects in your blood, collects in organs, and so on. So those are some of the things that will help with the saw palmetto berries. Saw palmetto berries is an excellent herbal formula to take. So what happens with prostate cancer? You have some dirt, you have toxins that will create the cancer. Certainly, now, as far as cancer goes, we're all walking around with cancer cells in our bodies right now. Okay, the issue is this: if our immune system isn't at full strength, the cancer raises its ugly head. So if we're not getting cancer, it's because our immune system is doing the job that it's supposed to do. When we're men well, they suggest 50, but I suggest that black men do start doing it at 40, and you start looking at your prostate health at 40 and maybe even 30 if prostate cancer runs in your family, because you have a likelihood or a tendency for disease genetically with prostate cancer. Um, but that would be, that and regular sex that massages that prostate. All of those are all of those are necessary items in terms of having good prostate health and good blood flow. And those are the two things together that create good prostate health.
Man, it seems like I learn so much every time we talk this subject and bring up the subject, and it's things that I think I know, but then you bring a different light to it, which is very 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 good. I was thinking as you were speaking, that you know we have to get a balance. We readily take our car to the shop when it's broken. We readily go fill up the tank when it's on empty or half full. We're real diligent about that. But we as black men have to be more diligent about our health and doing that on a regular basis, getting checkups and doing the things that we need to do to make sure our bodies are balanced. Because a lot of us are leaving here too early, too soon, and a lot of that can be avoided. Um, One of the things that I think it was my brother was telling me, everything we do is an accumulation. That cake and ice cream that you eat tonight may not tell on you right away, but 5 or 10 years ago from now it will. But in doing the proper maintenance, as you're discussing, helps avoid a lot of that. So
Well,
you,
that's
you
true,
have to be
George.
you have to be mindful. You really have to be mindful of what you put in your body. One of the decisions I made about probably about 10 years ago was I'm going to eat twice as much salad and roughage as I'm going to eat meat. So, if I eat one piece of chicken, I'm going to have a plate full of salad. I'm always going to have vegetables. And on my salad, I'm not going to use salad dressing. I'm going to use fruit, strawberries, blueberries, grapes, because they give you that same taste, and make your salad juicy and that's why we use salad dressing, because we think the roughage and the cabbage and all that stuff that we put in the salad is, kind of dry. So we want to liven it up with a little that white salad dressing or the Thousand Island or whatever. But what we fail to realize that those contain so much salt that that's a negative. You kind of what's the word? You're eating healthy with the salad, but then you're negating that by putting salad dressing on it. And it's the little things like that you have to realize. So yeah, I haven't used salad dressing in years because of the fact that I thought that it was defeating the purpose of eating the salad. So it's little things like that coupled with a lot of the things that you're saying as far as the additional vitamins that you can take really prolong your life, and those are the things that we have to realize and have to maintain. It has to be healthy eating, and we have to be very conscious of our health, like I said, because if we want to live long, and I'm sure all of us want to do that. Just to kind of switch it up a lot, I've known a lot of people that have gout. I know when I was coming up, I never heard of gout, but now I hear a lot of people swelling in the feet, swelling in the hands. What brings that on, and what's some good remedies for gout, PC?
Gout is an inflammatory disease. Gout is created by uric acid, an accumulation of uric acid. And what happens is when the body has an overabundance of uric acid in it, and by the way, inflammatory disease starts in the stomach and the digestive system. But once there's enough uric acid in your system, the body starts going to work automatically. And what the body does to try to counteract the uric acid is to push that uric acid as far away from the heart as possible, which is why people have swollen feet, swollen toes, swollen ankles. I know some people that have swollen arms. The gout is in the arms and wrists and so forth. So the idea is to stay away from foods that have a lot of uric acid in it. One of the main food sources that contains a lot of uric acid is red meat. So we're suggesting that you start watching your red meat intake. Matter of fact, a lot of people don't know what their blood type is, and blood types determine whether you can eat meat or not eat meat, or you can eat either meat or just plain eat meat and vegetables. Type A, you shouldn't eat meat. When you do eat meat and you're a type A blood type, it creates a lot of digestive problems. And as I've said, inflammation starts in the digestive system. If you're a blood type B, you must eat meat. It's not enough to just eat vegetables. If you're type O, which is the oldest blood type in the world, you can either eat meat or you can just eat vegetables. So you have a choice there when you have an O blood type. But when you have uric acid, you want to an overabundance of uric acid, uh, which is what's causing the gout. Then there's certain foods that you want to stay away from. You want to stay away from foods that have an abundance of pristines. And there are, if you look up pristine foods, there are a number of pristine foods like black eyed peas, for instance, hot dogs, um, red meat, certain fishes that are oily fishes um, have these purines in them. And when you're given, when you go to the doctor, usually the usual protocol is to give you a Purinol, which is a medication that takes away the purines out of your body, and thereby lessens the effects of uric acid. However, what we as practitioners of holistic medicine do, we try to get to the root cause of the disease in the first place. And if you do get to the root cause of the disease in the first place, there are a number of things that you can there are a number of herbs that you can use to lower your inflammation. And you really want to start using herbals that attack the inflammation in the stomach, which kind of cuts off having inflammation in other parts of your body. And the main thing is to watch the kind of foods that you eat, and you want to, if you're prone to uric acid buildup and gout, then you want to stay away from foods that have high purines. And there's a number of foods and fruits and vegetables and meats that have higher purines than others.
Man, this is so insightful. We could just go here and talk about this for days. We're definitely going to entertain this subject again real soon. And for our listeners out there, if there's a particular medication or alternative medication, I should say, that you want to a Dr. PC to talk about, you can drop us a line at info at the Crotchety Old Men Podcast.com, or you can find us on Spotify, on Apple, um, one of your favorite podcast platforms, where, notify us and listen to us, and we'll continue to give you these words of wisdom and nuggets to, help prolong your life and give you great ways to continue to sustain yourself. Great episode. And as we always try to do is in closing is talk, give a something that's going to stimulate your mind. So I've got a little something here I want you to kind of take in. If you hang around 5 confident people, you will be the 6th. If you hang around 5 intelligent people, you will be the 6th. If you hang around 5 millionaires, you will be the 6th. If you hang around 5 idiots, you will be the 6th. Be smart. Association is so important in everything that you do.
True that.
Until next time, peace.
Peace, everybody.